Hello, and welcome. I've eaten, I've drank, I've had a break, I've cooled the round down a bit. I've also been and had a little bit of a wander around and a little bit of a play with the new dual channel die system. And we're going to go and take a trip to Kozamauka. To Urqopacha. I just want to see what the alpacas do. What is it you'd like to know? Our main concern was confirming the state of the road ahead. As I recall, to reach Urqopacha, we depart from the Arch of Dawn, then take the road west at the first fork. Should we be wary of anything along the way? That is indeed the way to Urqopacha. After the damage wrought by the recent downpour, however, you'll be doing more stumbling than walking. We do take heart. When it comes to rugged terrain, we have a most dependable solution available. Come with me. It's alpaca time. We'll be back to talk to you in good time, friend Hanu. Meanwhile, you can eat and drink your fill. There. It's all been arranged. Oh, don't interrupt the funky... Wonder how the servers are doing. I haven't seen any more notifications from the FF14 Twitter account. Do. I introduce you to our most dependable companions, the alpaca. These animals can traverse Urqopacha's steep mountain trails as if they were gentle fields, and all while carrying heavy loads. Our merchants would be lost without them. So they fill much the same niche as our chocobos back home. You don't have alpacas in Eorzea? Alpacas are native to Dawntrail. Eorzea has its chocobos, and the eastern lands have their horses. Why go to the trouble of breeding another pack beast in a place where it ill suits its qualities and where it is not needed anyway? But must we ride these little monsters? I get the impression you aren't fond of alpacas. Well, you are insightful, Kryl. When I was small, and being a bit naughty, I went around pulling on their wool. One of them spat on me and it was the foulest stench you can imagine. I see. What are they like to ride? Alpacas bred as mounts are inquisitive and docile. Even those without experience find them easy to handle. We're really doing this then. So, was my information useful to you? Yes, very helpful, even if it wasn't what I wanted to hear. Good, I'll take my payment now. Going to pay you? I guess I should have expected as much from a Pelupelu merchant. Let me see what I have on me. The Pelupelu value the act of spreading joy through trade. As you should know, they take pride in making deals that benefit both parties. Here you go, a fair price for your fair advice. Yes! I made a trade with the third promise herself. My friends will never believe this. I shall be on my way now. I wish you safe travels. Off you go then, and thank you. Interesting. I better not get spit on again. You brought that on yourself. Remain calm and gentle, and so will they. Calm and gentle on my middle name. I'm still not happy about this. But if we need to ride alpacas to Urqopacha, then that's what we'll do. Nod. I thought we were panning up to our ears for some reason. It It's like, is it going to be a link pearl conversation or?
Turali poets of yore sang of a mountain that would stand tall, even should all other lands sink beneath the sea. Indomitable and eternal, it arises from Urqopacha, the 100 peaks of time.
100 peaks
Of all the
of
beasts
time.
which crawl and fly, only the legendary Valigarmanda could hope to disturb the summit's serene majesty. Yet, with that flying calamity imprisoned by the Dawn Serpent, what great feat remains for those who would claim the throne?
Indeed. And also interesting that we don't need to actually venture forth. It cutscenes us into the new place.
So this is Urqopacha. I've never actually been here before.
The air is so crisp and clear. Mountains everywhere you look.
That one massive peak in particular has quite the presence. It puts me in mind of Som-Al.
That is Urqopacha.
Urqopacha.
Mountain in Yogg-Tural. Its sheer height makes it an imposing climb. But there are other reasons the ambitious keep their distance.
That's where Valigamanda is. Or was.
Oh? Do tell.
Where to begin?
Excuse me, but you're Wuk Lamat, are you not? I hadn't thought to encounter one of the Dawn's promise here, of all places.
He's got a good projection of voice.
But I should introduce myself. I am Bol Nok, a weaver by trade.
Hi, Bulnock.
Well met, Bolnok. We're on our way to Pelupelu.
Truly, I've just come from there, as it happens.
Uh-huh.
I'd asked the Pelupelu who sell me their wool to give me a tour of their alpaca ranch. The head rancher and I shared a bottle of mezcal while he explained the finer points of wool production.
Sounds riveting.
Mezcal, is that a local beverage?
Ali planning on getting wasted?
It's an Urqopacha specialty. A spirit made from distilled agave heart juice.
Yes, and it must have done wonders for my mood, for I tripled my usual order of alpaca wool. They did offer me a discount, though, so it wasn't a bad deal in the end.
Mm-hmm.
But listen to me, boring you with my tedious stories. I will leave you before you are lost.
Oh, you were just here to say hello?
And safe travels.
I thought he needed us to do something.
Oh, silly me. I almost forgot to say the thing I actually wanted to say.
Uh-huh.
Peace for Tural. I agree with your vision, Third Promise. You have my support in your bid for the throne.
Hurrah. Doesn't mean a lot when we've got... Well, I suppose since the...
I gather from his tale we would be foolish to underestimate Pelupelu merchants.
Yes. Because the contest, the Rite of Succession, is not just a combat thing, she does actually have a reasonable chance at this. But there will be twists and turns afoot.
They do more than run the markets in Tuliolal. Pelupelu peddlers can be found everywhere in Tural, traveling from place to place on their sturdy alpacas. They are effusive and engaging speakers, and many's the customer who's been talked into spending more than they bargained for.
I know the type.
They won't find this customer so easily charmed.
Say goodbye to your bank balance, Wuk Lamat. Erinville doesn't have high hopes.
On the path. off the main road. Don't get lost.
It's right there.
It's right there. Oh, people. Alpacas. Majestic. Right. So this is our first explorable zone. So I'm just taking it in. It's not like we get to experience a brand new zone very often. I should talk to our companions as well. This is it, Urqopacha, home of the Pelupelu. Wuk Lamat should have arrived before it. It was a short path. How is she? Oh, she's over there. That's not good. You come all this way for the right of succession? Oh, so this means I'm exchanging words with the future dorm servants. At least the outcome is far from decided, but it is a possibility. How fortunate then that I deal in cloaks woven from especially luxurious alpaca wool. Such a garment would look magnificent when draped over the shoulders of our budding ruler. And a nation's ruler should dress her best for her adoring people, yes? Finery for our finest lady, that's right. Come, third promise, my well-stocked shelves are but a few steps away. Finest lady? I like the sound of that. Alright, I suppose a quick look wouldn't hurt. Ahem, what did we just talk about? Evanville, when did you... Ah, Shatona from far off Zaltavak. Though the winters are bitterly cold affairs, I'm told. Cannot imagine how you survive them without a lovely warm cloak of quality alpaca wool. No, thank you. I'm not in need of new clothes at the moment, and neither is the third promise. Perhaps another time. Of course. My shop door is always open. Side-eye. You were saying something about not being easily charmed? I was just... As I mentioned previously, the Pelu people live for bringing happiness through trade. They won't cheat you or sell you defective goods. They will, however, disarm you with their deft turns of phrase, and unwitting customers like Wuk Lamat fall prey to this affable approach time and time again. Your only recourse is a clear and firm refusal. They won't pursue the matter, should you make your disinterest plain. Valuable insight into the minds of the Pelupelu. Let us all take Erenville's word of caution to heart. Yes, Alphino, because you're so good at dealing financially. In fact, we all know it. You discover a new location. Alright, we've got a reasonable sized zone. That's 93, so it's possible that we're only gonna, in fact, it's possible that we're only gonna get to explore a small part of this for now. Excellent. I swear, I let her out of my sight for one moment. Wuk Lamat is lucky to have Erenville. Everyone, royalty especially, needs a friend unafraid to chide them when the need arises. To But seeing the Pelupelu are also partial to coffee. All these houses and buildings made to Pelupelu size. And mine too, come to think of it. Traders of Happiness. Wuk Lamat is ready to search out the Dawn Servant Selector. Not my finest moment, I'll admit. But now that we're here, let's do what we came to do, find the Elector. Allow me to propose a strategy then. Kyle, Alizai and I will speak with the merchants. Wuk Lamat, you and Aaronville might try approaching travellers and passers-by. Demajen, try investigate any of the other establishments which catch your eye. Should we learn Autofuse, let's relay it to the third promise. Nod. Well, in terms of structures that have caught my eye, this giant revolving thing is quite interesting. I think I shall go and have a little fondle of it. That's the official attuning with an aetherite noise. I also spot somewhere over here, there, an alpaca keep. And an independent merchant. What do you sell, independent merchants? Right, they sell the level 90 stuff, which I've already had a little bit of a look at. It's not the most exciting stuff in the world, but it'll do. Oh, good. Gemstone traders. I'm pleased to report that my stall is open for business, though I do not accept Pel or Bell. Pel or Gil. Okay. Fates, yada yada. Alpaca fillet. Delicious. Mega Mogui pineapple. Okay, so as per usual. We can't fly! Of course we can't fly. New zone. Aha! A distillery worker. The Dawn Servant Selector? Ah, I thought you were a new face in town. You have the right to succession, I take it. Yeah, I don't much care who sits the throne so long as they keep Tural peaceful. People tend not to be in the mood to relax and sip our excellent mezcal once arrows and spears start flying, if you know what I mean. Speaking of which, would you like a cup? A joy shared is a joy double, I say. No, thank you. Oh, right, yes, you were asking about that Elector business. Being but freshly returned from my trading route, I've heard that there's a contest afoot, but not much else. Our head ledger, Tobley, could probably tell you more about it. Oh, it's so slow. Electors? Oh yeah, I've heard all about the right of succession. They're looking to put a new ruler on the throne, eh? Personally, I'm rooting for Zeralja. First promise wins, he'll look to expand our sphere of influence. That means access to more resources and more customers. In the thousands column, potentially. So many new trading opportunities to spread happiness far and wide. Others have been coming around to my way of thinking, so I've been crafting goods inspired by the resilient sun. Would you care to purchase something? No, I would not. Very well. You said you wanted to know about the Elector. I could help you, but I won't. I can tell you're no supporter of Zeralja or his policies. Fair enough. The Family Ranch? Hello there, I'm Mablu. Did you have a question for me? You're wearing pink. Sorry, I don't know about any Electors. You should take a moment to see our prized alpacas before you leave, though. Oh, but be sure to admire them from a respectable distance. Get too close and our nervous darlings may be tempted to spit on you. And that stuff stinks. It happened to a visiting buyer not so long ago. Tobley, that's the head rancher, was so mad at me for not giving a proper warning. No one makes a mistake without Tobley noticing. He knows everything that happens on this ranch. Does he now? What's everybody looking at? That's a nice glamour. Pair of denim shorts. What's somebody looking at? Clearly something is going down here. But I went and had some food. So I am now well behind the pack. In fact, let's... Oh, how do we check? There's a lot of people at level 91 already. There's anybody at 92? Yes. Anybody at 93? Yes. How? Load of people at 94. Couple of people at 95. Nobody at 96. Okay. I assume it's that they're doing dungeon runs or something. Don't understand why. Speak with Wuk Lamat. Nothing quite as relaxing as a cup of coffee. You really have to watch yourself around these silver-tongued peddlers. I almost bought a bottle of meshkal and a stack of blankets, and there was this enchanting ornament. Anyway, I did manage to learn that Pelupelu is the man to talk to about the contest. Now, if only they'd share where this head ledger of theirs is to be found. We've seen him, haven't we? Really? He's also the head rancher? Well, the alpaca ranch is not far from here. I say we paid a visit before the others return. Music's very catchy. Aha! That's what everybody's looking at. They are slightly further ahead than me. Why are you wearing pink? You're the only person wearing pink that we've seen. that is a lot of alpacas. Still, we know the head ledger should be here somewhere. I cannot let fear deter me. Not to say that I'm scared, of course. Hi. Excuse me, is one of these workers Pelupelu? Pelupelu? Oh yes, he likes to mingle with the ranch hands and keep an eye on things. I can't tell you which one he is, though. You can't? Is this part of the contest? All I can say is that Pelupelu often mentions his favourite pungent subject. He also can't resist a profitable trade, though who among us could, am I right? Still, if you bring him a very good deal, he might let his identity slip. So it's like a game. Easy enough. All I have to do is offer Pelupelu a deal he can't ignore. No problem at all. Well, maybe one problem. I don't think my purse is deep enough to pay everyone we think might be Pelupelu. Let's ask some questions first to narrow down the field. How do you earn your money, Wuk Lamat? Great. We can meet back here to share our impressions. Okay. So we're going to do some detecting. Well, obviously I'm not Pelupelu. I mean, I shouldn't have said that. You meant to find out for yourself who Pelupelu is, or if an elector is even in the village at all. Good luck. Diligent ranch hand. Ah, a visitor from across the salt, if I'm not mistaken. Be warned, the alpacas will spit if you startle them. I suggest you keep your movements slow and deliberate. I kind of want to nonchalant ranch hand. Am I Pelupelu? Yes, that's me. Excellent work from the third promise and to our sharp instincts. Shall we commence the rite of succession then? You think I might be Pelupelu? Well, maybe I am. All I'll say is that in this village, none have feared more alpacas than I. Well, nothing there helped at all. Frankly. I see we're both done with our interrogations. So, who do you think it is? I have my suspicions, but let's hear your pick. I have no idea. I think it's the one in pink, actually. The work is so intent on stable chores. I had my eye on that one too. Time to rip the mask off our mystery ranch hands, so to speak. We know it's you, Tobley, and to prove it, I propose a deal. A generous sum of coin for confirmation of your true identity. An offer I gladly accept. As you correctly guessed, I am indeed Tobley, head ledger of Urqopacha and head rancher of the family ranch. I am also one of Galul Jar Jar's chosen electors. Aha! In a place featured in the Tulialal saga, just as we thought. I was right to trust in your instincts, and I wager this won't be the last time. Instincts? She found you out fair and square, Tobley. I'm glad she did. Would have been a pity had her bid ended here. So they are somewhat supportive? Somewhat.
Deducing the Dawnservant's elector was the first step of the feat. Too simple a task for this aspiring ruler, eh?
Eh?
Right. Not hard at all.
Ah. Zoral Jaja.
Zoralja.
I am told the head ledger, Tobley, is to be found here.
You have to guess which one of us is Tobley. That's part of the test.
Oh, well done.
You're Tobley.
Without even asking a single question. Very impressive indeed. With that amusing prologue out of the way, we can proceed to the actual challenge.
Intimidated.
Per the Dawnservant's instructions, I was free to devise any manner of feat. I considered the number of possibilities in the 10th column. But I think I have a good one.
Uh-huh.
You must go forth and capture for me an alpaca.
Uh-huh.
While I've not had the best experiences with alpacas, aren't they generally docile creatures?
No.
That doesn't sound like much of a challenge.
Bring out the example!
The example. It's so fluffy.
This is a special kind of alpaca. Would you please approach the animal, third promise?
Who? Me? Well, it should stay calm if I stay calm, right? That's what Erinville said.
The example.
Ah!
Oh dear.
The little monster spat on me! Oh, that stinks. I can't.
Jeez.
Alpacas are paradoxical creatures, being both extremely curious and extremely cowardly. Press your luck when they're frightened, and you'll get a face full of spit, as you've all just witnessed. Has an awful stench, their expectoration. The globs contain half-digested food, you see, making it an effective deterrent against perceived threats.
Wild valley breed like this one are especially timid and can therefore be quick to lash out.
Okay.
Also especially hardy.
Indeed. We take the rugged wild alpacas and breed them with our gentle domesticated stock. This produces the strong but biddable pack animals prized by our traveling merchants.
Okay.
That's all well and good, but did I need to bathe an alpaca spit for you to make your point?
So, the task is to catch a wild alpaca.
That is correct. But be warned that it is a feat easier said than done. I suggest you prepare well before you enter the valley where the creatures dwell. And by you, I mean the claimants only.
Oh.
Allies are not permitted to assist.
Are we going to have a roleplay section?
The alpacas will help me judge which of you is worthy of receiving a keystone.
Uh-oh. This smells of solo duty, doesn't it? Role-playing solo duty at that.
So I'm to chase down a fluffy, spitting demon, and that somehow proves I'm fit to rule?
As I said, the Dawn Servant granted me the freedom to decide my challenge. And when you reach the end of the ride, I dare say you will understand why I chose what I chose.
Dealing with the unruly. A necessary skill for a leader.
Very well. This won't take long.
You can't have assistance.
Wait! Didn't I warn you this was easier said than done? There are preparations to be made, factors to consider.
A beast is a beast. All yield to strength.
So far, this experience has done absolutely nothing to improve my opinion of alpacas.
It's just a pitying look.
But that doesn't mean I can't do this. Revolting spit aside, they're just another animal.
Uh-huh. Oh, hey, friends.
Are you all right, Wuk Lamat? We thought we heard you scream.
And what is that
The
smell?
third promise does not scream. It was more of a startled yelp.
Scream, in other words.
Sure, Sharonville. I feel like she's going to be the butt of many a
Did
joke.
you find the Elector?
We did.
Oh, we certainly did.
And now we shall fill you in. Very silly. Very silly. Wasn't there supposed to be a button for... Ah, yes, there's a little X button now just to hide the log window. Ah, Wuk Lamat. I had to go and wash that nasty stuff off my face. I think I got all of it. But would you mind taking a sniff for me? Just to make sure the stench has ruined my sense of smell. Hey, I saw that look. Nice outfits. It's the fact that Mablu's got a different colour outfit to everybody else makes me think that she's going to be more important. I was impressed with how easy Zawal found Tobli, but also sort of frightened. Yeah. I've done my duty and assigned the claimants their feet. The rest is up to them. Judging by the volume of Wuk Lamat's scream, alpaca exploration must have a nasty odour indeed. I'm content to remain ignorant of the smell. Zawalja puts me in mind of Garlemald's own exalted son. Of the two, though, Xenos was undeniably more arrogant. Oh, this is our sought after Elector. So, can you still smell it? Be honest. Ooh, gloves! Erenville wishes to discuss the feet of gold! I've lost track of how many quests I've done already. As Wuk Lamat helped demonstrate, the Valley Alpaca are wary of people. Getting close enough to catch one will not be an easy task. You might have warned me about that earlier. I have enough trouble with tame alpacas. How do you expect to wrangle a wild one? With the proper saddle. We infuse the leather with a relaxing scent that soothes a spitting beast. Wonderful. Give me one of those then. Have you, perhaps, forgotten we are a clan of merchants? If you want a taming saddle, then you need to find a saddle and make them an offer. They don't come cheap, of course. Crafting a saddle will cost you the equivalent of 10 pel, in the thousands column. You mean 10,000 pel? I don't have that kind of coin. I thought there was an alpaca coming to stalk Alphano. Convert into gil, that comes to around 1 million or so. If we all pitch in. No, this is my feat to accomplish. I wouldn't feel right about having others pay the cost. I'll find the money somehow. In that case... that basket of wool is worth the sum you paid me earlier. 1 pel, in the 100 column. Beginning with the wool, you can trade for ever more valuable goods until you have something suitable to bargain with for the saddle. That's a nice gesture, but you think I can turn 100 pel into 1 million? That's 10,000 times more. We need 10,000 pel, not 1 million, so we're looking at 100 times more. Oh, right, I panicked and got it confused with Alphino's million gil. Not that I panic. I'm not so sure about this trading idea. You almost talked into buying a cloak you didn't need mere moments after you arrived. But I hate it when you're right. And let me help you with your deal making. Oh, hello again. Mablu. I work here as a ranch hand, but I've also learned a lot about the peddler profession. It's alright if I aid them now, yes? I guided the claimants toward the first step of the feat, like you asked. As long as Wuk Lamat goes alone to capture her alpaca, she is free to accept assistance from whoever she likes. Hey! Let's see about getting you that saddle then, third promise. I don't know why you made your offer, but I could use an ally with a beak for bargains. Welcome aboard, Mablu. Should the rest of us stay behind, perhaps? It may be easier to haggle over prices without so many voices chiming in. Yes, stay here and pitch in with the ranch work. With Mablu gone, I'll need extra hands to tend to the alpacas. Gladly. Although, Demajen, I think you should go with Wuk Lamat. You've seen markets and bazaars the world over and surely have sage advice to share. Yes, because I'm notoriously amazing with money. The guy that collects Warhammer 40k stuff. Great with cash. In that case, you should also hold on to the alpaca wool. If it's misplaced or soiled in some way, you'll have nothing to bargain with. As if I'd do such a thing. But I'll leave the wool with Demajen anyway. Better to keep my hands free. To begin, I suggest we try trading the wool to Havli the saddler. He won't agree to the deal, of course, but it'll give us an idea of how much he'll accept for his wares. Smart. London Bridge is falling down. That's how I control the camera. I can never remember how you do camera controls on this. No, I still haven't reset up the controller, have I? Double! It must be done. Who's a good boy? Is it really possible to make 100 times without that wool is worth just through trading? This is the artisan who makes our taming saddles. Hi, you all look the same. They may have different coloured eyes, though. Something I can do for you? We've come to bargain. I need one of your special taming saddles to catch a wild alpaca. A saddle, is it? And how will you be paying for it? With this basket of fine alpaca wool. What use does a saddle maker have for wool? Besides, this would barely cover the cost of a single strap buckle. Offer me something I actually want. And what might that be? Eshkol. I like to nurse the cup at day's end while I inspect my finished work. Bring me a jug of quality stuff and you've got yourself a deal. This bodes well for us, third promise. Such mescal can be had for only 5 pel in the thousands column. Hold on. Did you say third promise? Then my offer has changed. The saddle is going to cost you a jug of premium mescal, aged 3 years at least. 3 years? That stuff is valued at 10,000 pel or more. Why have you doubled the price? Because I must support the man of ambition who'll see my business prosper. The Valdra will go to war and his cavalry will need saddles. Lots of saddles. Nothing personal, third promise. But I won't sell you my craft for anything less than my asking price. You changed the, Not a big fan of people that change the prices after they've already said what they want. Can't say I blame him. I'm known for championing peace, and peace is unlikely to bring in more customers. Those of our grandparents' generation remember the dark days when the clans were at war. Many of these pray for your victory, Wuk Lamat. The younger ones, though, to them strife and bloodshed are as of children's stories. They think themselves safe from these horrors and take the peace we enjoy now for granted. Still others are unsatisfied with this quiet prosperity and crave the future the second promise envisions. They become obsessed with innovations like the dirigibles that have made trade swift and easy. Then you have those like Havli, convinced that the first promise's plans for conquest will afford them opportunities for great profit. What about you, Mablu? Aren't you of the younger generation? At least a year or two younger than me, I'd say. Oh, I was raised on the old tales. I've memorised the accounts of what it was like when the Urqopacha ruled our village. That's why I offered to help. I want you to become Dorm's servant to keep our nation from going back to the way it was. Well then, I guess I better make sure I win this contest. The type of mescal the saddle maker wants is so very expensive. Weren't we expecting to need 10,000 pel from the outset? Nothing's changed, we just need to get on with it. I may not have a head for trade or the stomach for alpacas. I won't give up with a piece of Tulial along the line. Good for you. Then neither will I. We will make you Dawn servants. Aiming for that 10,000 pal jug right away will only bring us failure and frustration, so let's try exchanging the wool for anything even a touch more valuable. The trick is to find someone who needs alpaca wool and is willing to trade at a loss to acquire it. Someone who supports your bid for a throne, for instance. Aha. He's already got a load of wool, hasn't he? Of course, the weaver. Bolnock was his name, I believe. He went out of his way to say he agreed with my vision, and he was here to buy wool. I think I remember the direction he was going, but for now, let's head back to that road where we first met him. Oh, we're going to go exploring. Oh, ether compass. That's a thing I should equip to my bars, isn't it? I've just thought I want to... Let's put on... I haven't got the basic chocobo. I want to see what this new... What? Before I started recording, I went and did the hunts side quest thing. It's just a generic unlock quest, beginners only, level, low level stuff, yada yada. Come back at level 94. But obviously the nuts vendor, which is the currency that they use, is the same as what we've been collecting for months and months and months, because I never spend it on anything except the odd random thing. And this delightful entourage was our option. The cactus nut wiggles. Oh, jeez. Oh, I've turned the UI off, haven't I? I was wondering, why have I not got a map or anything? Who's killing alpacas? Stop it. Right, we have another road to travel. Is this where you met the weaver? It is. This is the spot. After Bolnock talked to us, he walked off to the south. And he was probably going to Urqopacha's Inn. Most visitors to Wuk... I'm not going to do well with the names. Most visitors to Urqopacha end up staying there. Let's go and check, shall we? Nod. Right, where is... Is it under collection? It is under collection. Ether currents. $178 yards to the southwest. It looks like we're going that way anyway. Right, so we've got some rattles. A lot of rattles, actually. We've also got... Silver Lobos! I'll jump up there. Aha! Can I have that basket, Dema? Thanks. Now, let's see if we can turn a profit. Well, Knock, I'm glad we found you. You interested in making a trade? They'd promised you wish to do business with me? Might I ask what this is all about? Up and pan down. Or not? I see. So the goal is to turn that basket of wool into a jug of 3-year-old premium mezcal. Mezcal. Then allow me to invest in your efforts. Peace in Toral is what allows me to cross freely into the lands of my suppliers. Naturally, I would prefer that one pledged to preserve that peace wins the throne. Thus do I humbly offer you this wool poncho, a small token that I pray contributes to your victory. Hurrah! Oh, that's fine craftsmanship. A garment like that would easily fetch 5 pel in the hundreds column. That's very generous, Bolnock. Thank you. I promise I won't let you down. So we've got 500 now. I have every faith in you, Third Promise. May fortune bless your future dealings. Thank you, Bolnock. I can't believe you quintupled your investment with your first deal. We're off to a spectacular start. Only because Demajen remembered our weaver friend. All I did was hand over the wool. That's not true. The connections you build with people are vital. This is one of the most fundamental precepts of trading, one which you've instinctively mastered. You think so? I know so. Now, let's take our 500 pel poncho and trade it for something even more valuable. Here, Demajen, you take the poncho. If I lost it somehow, Owenville would never let me hear the end of it. All the better to keep track of the quest progression. All set. Our next deal is waiting to be found. Excellent trade! Okay. Success! You traded a 100 pel basket of alpaca wool for a 500 pel wool poncho. Clearly we're going to use more of this then. So we need to know people or have spoken to people, I guess, in order to... I don't know. Do we know anyone that needs a poncho? Leveraging connections is a sound strategy, but we should also consider supply and demand. An individual in urgent need of a good poncho will offer more than a merchant simply looking to stock his shelves. That makes sense, but how do we know if someone needs a poncho? They have a fabulous sense of style. It's a nice sturdy poncho, but the design's traditional. I don't think fashion is part of its appeal. So, only those people with a practical need would be interested. Wait, that's the obvious answer, isn't it? We look for a person without a poncho. Darn. And hope they're eager to buy ours. Yes, there you go. We find the demand for our supply. So, where should we begin our search for prospective buyers? There are any number of places. We could do worse than starting right here at the inn. There might be interested travellers. I'm going to have to make some decisions here, aren't I? Who here needs a poncho? A lot of Mamuljar hardly wear anything to begin with. Those are probably Landsguard or sellswords. Mamuljar who soldier for a living prefer not to wear much above the waist. It hampers their movements. He's very knowledgeable. So even if they have bared shoulders, Mamuljar carrying arms can be struck off the list. Nod? Oh, okay. Let's see. No coat or cloak, but also no weapon. Oh, we might have a winner. Oh there, friend. You're not a mercenary by trade, right? I was curious about your bold choice of dress, or lack thereof. Oh, it was no choice of mine, believe me. I was attacked by beasts on the way here and barely escaped with my scales intact. My coat was not so lucky. I'm actually a toolmaker from Tulialal and was dressed quite smartly. All the better to show the Pello I am a man who takes pride in his appearance and therefore his work as well. But now look at me. Well, sir, this is your lucky day. But we have this delightful poncho. What a splendid poncho. This would be the perfect replacement for the coat I lost. We'd be willing to start with it if you'd like to make a trade for one of your fine tools, perhaps. What about this hatchet? I crafted it myself and will vouch for its quality. Yes? The blade looks sharp, the haft well made. I'd value it at 1,000 pel. Oh, from 500 to 1,000, we have a deal. Wonderful. A fine garment such as this should put me on even footing with any Pelu merchants. Like the eponymous owner of Mablu's mate garden, for one. Her field hands use hatchets to harvest the mates, and I thought to impress her with the tool I sold you. No matter, I have other wares to sell. Glad I am to have met you. I want to see what he looks like in the poncho. Did you hear that? We've already found our next buyer. To Mablu's mate garden we go. Yes, but it's a fair distance on foot. We should take alpacas. These ones were with the calm type, right? Yeah. Excellent trade. Success. I wonder if there is a failure state for this. Oh dear. I'm starting to flag as I have been up many an hour. Within time-wise. Well done recognising that toolmaker as a potential customer. If you're in mind to change professions, you make an excellent merchant. Right, what have I got gloves-wise? 620. Yeah, that's... yeah, that's a good chunk more strength, so... I'll do me. Equip! Yeah, some nice sturdy arm guards. Mablu's dream. Wuk Lamat steels herself for the ride to find your next trading partner. Before we get moving, you should be the one to hold this. She's really not very trusting of herself, is she? With that, I suppose we should hop on the alpacas Mablu has so kindly provided. Ready to go? Let's mount up. Begin the alpaca ride. And it's off to the mate fields we go. Please don't spit, please don't spit. You'll be fine. These ones are accustomed to people. I still don't trust them. You have a knack for riding, no matter what you say. Without our alpaca friends, we Pelu would never have become travelling merchants. Can you imagine walking all the way across Travel? I swear, that mountain is too tall to be real. A little bit of more dynamic. Wakazoma, wasn't that the name? Vanderkirls? A forbidden sight, isn't it? One I've never appreciated up close. You have to take the long way around the cliffs to get there, to the highlands belonging to the Yokhui. Magamagwe. Ah, that's the thing that we saw, yeah. So Mablu, you said you were learning about the peddler profession. You don't care for ranch work? No, I love it. I love working with alpacas. But becoming a peddler has always been a dream of mine. We're just racking up XP around here. Just, I'm not sure I have the talent for it. I can help you buy the taming saddle though, and it'd be proof that I can do this after all. In that case, we best get ready to be a merchant. Noto Cactua. Look, we're almost there. Thousand needles. All equivalent. I see you, ether currents. We made it, and without a single smelly incident. I sent the alpacas back to Kuvo's inn, so we'll walk on the main road when we return to the village. Speaking of roads to travel, you were adopted by the Dawn servant, weren't you? Third promise? That I was. Then perhaps you understand. I was an orphan too, you see. Tobly took me in. He took in all the ranch hands, actually. All of them? Yes, and everyone works hard at their chores, grateful for the opportunity to repay the head ledger's generosity. Yet here I am, the only one wanting to go off and be a merchant. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm telling you this. We need to keep trading things for your saddle if you're to prepare for the feat of gold. As it's mate harvesting season, they can't have too many quality hatchets. Add to that Wuk Lamat's do away with people, and we should have no trouble making a favourable deal. That's Mablu herself over there. Pass the hatchet to the third promise and let's get to bargaining. She has greater ambitions. Now what's wrong with that? And it could still bring reputation to the ranch. Where were you, Ether Currents? Oh, I forget how slow. Oh, mind you, can I use the bike? Does the bike still have a movement speed boost? Where is the bike? Yeah, that feels faster. It might not be, but it feels it. You have that little axe for me? Thanks. I had to see what we can get for it. I'm noticing they're doing slightly more with the interaction part of the questing. Not much more. You know, it's using systems that have been in place for a decade at this point. You're Mablu, the owner of the fields. I have a mind to trade if you're interested. Well, well, the third promise. I might be convinced to entertain a proposal. What do you have on offer? This hatchet, forged by a seasoned artisan. The razor edge of this exceptional tool will make light work of your crops. The quality is acceptable, I suppose. I offer you a large sack of mate leaves in exchange. A sack of mate leaves is valued at 1 pel in the thousands column, the same price as the hatchets. This deal would bring us no closer to the mescal. If I may, Mistress Mablu, it's harvesting season, is it not? Does not the demand for hatchets afford them a higher value? It is indeed the season, which is why I procured an ample batch of tools well in advance. Ah, we've missed the window for demand. In that case, we'll have to fall back on connections. Think of it this way. A generous deal here will put you in the third promise's good graces. Surely that's worthy of consideration. I do not wish to give offence, but I must tell you that I stand with the second promise. His innovations will improve every aspect of our lives, I believe, including farming, and I will no longer have need of hatchets. I assure you that I have nothing but respect for Wuk Lamat. That is why I am prepared to purchase a spare hatchet at a fair price. I suppose it is fair, given your reasons. But we ourselves would be no better off for the transaction. How about this then? If we were to help bring in your harvest, would you give us a better deal? As a matter of fact, I would. Until Kona's reforms come about, I can always use more hands in the fields. You can go ahead and add our labour to the bargain. Added value to tip the scales. How could I have forgotten one of the most basic rules of trading? You can rest here if you like, Mablu. Demajen and I have mates together. Oh no, I'm helping too. Off to the fields then, and mind you pick the healthy leaves. I'll take 5 good bundles from each of you. Oh good, we're going leaf picking. Ow. Right, it's a collection quest. Bunch of verdant mate leaves. Gathering animation. Winning. That was straightforward. You brought me some leaves then? I have. An acceptable harvest. We'll see how your companions fared before I make any decisions though. Hopefully they are half decent. Something tells me Wuk Lamat will be a fairly good worker. Here, we brought our share as well. Da 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 da! Thank you, Third Promise. This is more than enough to hold up your end of the bargain. Now it's time to honour mine. After adding the value of your labour to the price of the hatchets, I'm prepared to offer you a full sack of our highest grade mate leaves. Premium mates. Bought at the shop, one sack of those leaves would cost no less than 5,000 pel. Then we can bid farewell to this hatchet. I'll give it a good home. Talk of the contest aside, I'm glad we could come to a mutually agreeable trade. As am I. All the best with the rest of your harvest. We will bring her round to our way of thinking yet. Mablu, what's wrong? It's as I was saying before. Even after everything Tobley's done for me, I'm planning to abandon it all and become a merchant. But then I needed your help after forgetting a basic rule of trade. How can I expect Tobley to accept my decision then? Have you mentioned your plans to leave? Not exactly. I wanted to prove I could succeed as a peddler before I declared my intentions. I seek to follow in my father's footsteps, but not because he expects it of me. I want to preserve Tyrell's peace, and becoming Dawn Servant happens to be the best way to do it. You should live a life of your own choosing, and I wouldn't be surprised if Tobley held the same opinion, so talk to him. You're right. It's better to find out for sure than worry over what he might say. Thank you for the advice. It's good advice as well. And she does have a way with people. But first, we have a saddle to buy. I want that success under my belt so I can be sure of my decision. What's next then? We try to trade our tea leaves for something halfway to 10,000 pel? No, I think we're close enough now. I say we go straight for the premium mescal. Bargain our way into double the value, eh? Think you can do it? Trust me, I'll make this trade work. I admire you, Third Promise. That you're holding your own against such strong competition for the throne is inspiring. Am I really holding my own against Kono and Zoalja? I mean, of course I am. I am Wuk Lamat of the Dawn's Promise, after all. She's not doing too bad. Top grade. Mate leaves. Success. We don't look too impressed, do we? Frankly. A premium deal. Before we go, let me give you the mate leaves. I do not need to risk proving Erenville's points. Uh-huh. Ready then? Our next stop is the Mescal Distillery. Okay. So we're going all the way back. Oh, I see, yes. Northeast. That's not northeast, is it, Demajen? That is, in fact, northwest. 280 arms to the east. We might as well grab the ether currents on the way. You know, if I can do so without aggroing the world, of course. Take a guess it's up. I am proven correct. Tuning. Anything else? 389 yards to the south. Yeah, that's probably in this side of the zone. It looks like there's going to be another half, you know, the upper half of the zone, so we're not going to be able to fly here for a while yet. Notorious Mark. Yes. This looks so nice in comparison. Look at this grass. This grass is lovely. Also, what's the frame rate like here? Yeah. I need to do some tweaking. $140 arms to the south is going to take us... Yeah, so it looks like this half of the zone actually is much smaller in comparison. What is that? Oh, it's a Lobo. Aha! How do I get up to you? Just ride up the side? Yow. Snow drifting in, that's nice. Yeah, and again, that's going to be more. We've got some side quests as well that we could do. Yeah, the graphics update is noticeable enough, but not so in your face that it's like, ooh, you know, you're getting constantly distracted by it. It's noticeable in its use of lighting, and more importantly, I think it's not as bluey green as I think the game has been criticised for being. There is some colour grading here, you know, and some people I'm sure will want to add some contrast filters or reshed anything to it. I want to speak with a man by the name of Gobley. Even among his fellow distillers, is regarded as a master of the craft. He knows the value of his product, so if we're going to convince him to trade for twice what the leaves are worth, we're going to need targeted information That means asking around and taking in the gossip. If you could talk to people here in the distillery, Demajen, perhaps Wuk Lamat could do the same at the village entrance. Meanwhile, I'll head to the north side and see what I can learn. Nod. Ah, my voice is struggling. Goblin might be a deft hand at distilling, but he's got no sense when it comes to appearances. Rumour has it he's been invited to the palace for business negotiations. If he presents himself to the court wearing his usual rumpled attire, though, he'll be laughed out of Sunperch. I'm a chef from Tulialal. I often come here to buy Goblin's meshkal, the finest in Tural according to my customers. He always brings out a jug during our dealings, but I can't handle the stuff too well myself. I take small sips, not wanting to be impolite, you understand, but still end up so addled as to agree to whatever price he quotes me. It would be nice to have less potent refreshments during such conversations, else I might have to seriously reconsider our arrangements. There's not much I can say about Goblin, but I can tell you what Goblin's been saying. The other day he was muttering about monsters prowling around Agave Jaws. That's the field where they gather ingredients for the meshkal. Their presence has made it harder to procure said ingredients and thus driven up the price of his products. A boon, some might argue, but it's hard to celebrate when it affects the work as it does. Can't rightly bring joy to people if you can't keep making the thing they love. Interesting. Chunk of information there, so we can go and deal with... What is that? Oh, yes. So we can go and deal with the pests messing around with his fields. We can find him something nicer to wear. And we can maybe negotiate some kind of trade thing. So, what did you find out? Oh, we can make use of all those tidbits. Deal is as good as sealed. As for me, I found out where Goblin's working. There's a millstone at the top of the slope behind the distillery. You go on ahead and I'll bring Wuk Lamat. Hello, Goblin. You have business with me, madam? I know to be talked down below so as not to distract the alpaca from his work. Yeah, we don't want to annoy the alpacas. Because we're not stupid. Now, what's this about? Keep it brief, if you would. I'm a busy man. We're in the market for a 3-year-old jug of premium mezcal, assuming you have any on hand, that is. Ah, an excellent choice. Must warn you, though, it doesn't come cheap. We don't have Pel, but we can offer a sack of mate leaves in exchange. Top-grade stuff, like the mezcal. No deal. Mate leaves are well and good, but I don't have any use for them. No deal, just like that. Still, I'd hate to send you away empty-handed. Why don't we sit and chat a while over a cup of mezcal? Now the real bargaining begins. Which of our cards do you want to play first? The palace. Oh, let's hold on to that one. We need to consider our timing. The drink. I appreciate your hospitality, but I'm afraid I can't hold my drink. I've heard one of your regular customers, a Hubigo chef, is the same. Seeing as not everyone can enjoy mezcal, I wonder if you might benefit from having other refreshments to offer. Something like mate's tea, for instance, and brewed from the finest leaves, of course. Ah, you're right. Absolutely right. I had noticed a growing reluctance on the part of my Hubigo friend, but did not realise I myself was to blame. I must endeavour to be a better host. Still, even with that added value in mind, no sack of leaves is worth the mescal you're after. Should we offer to kill the monsters causing them trouble? Not yet. That's a toothy grin. As I expect you're aware, the rite of succession is currently taking place. That's why the third promise has graced us with her presence. When the contest is decided, the subsequent ascension ceremony and banquet will be a prestigious affair. If your meshkul were to be served there, it would bring your distillery immeasurable fame. Wait, could it be your rumoured invitation to the palaces to discuss that very possibility? As a matter of fact, yes. I must admit I'm still reeling from the abruptness of it all. It would be a great honour and opportunity if I could secure the deal. Well, I should think your exceptional meshkul would speak for itself. That said, there's no such thing as being too prepared, and first impressions last. You want to be wearing your very best when you walk into Volokshunsa. It would be such a shame to miss the chance of a lifetime simply for want of proper garments. That it would. You saying you have garments to offer? Something ideal for court? We have no garments on the hand, I'm afraid, but we can provide you with the next best thing, an introduction to a weaver. His name is Bolnok, and his works are highly regarded in Tulialal. True. As a supporter of Wuk Lamat and keen observer of palace politics, he will doubtless be happy to guide you in the selection of an outfit to fit this golden occasion. That is certainly a tempting proposal, and one of which I should like to take full advantage. The scales still aren't quite balancing. Say, weren't the monsters running amok in a garage yours? That's a problem we could easily solve for you. Truly? I would be most grateful for your immediate assistance. I was resigned to hiring sellswords to clear them out. Factoring in that saved expense and an introduction to a trusted weaver, this is shaping up to be a sound bargain. Alright, you have a deal. Yes, I knew you'd come around. Give us a moment and Demajen and I will take care of those prowling nuisances. We just stood there in the background waiting to be employed as a mercenary. In the meantime, I'll use the time to pen an introductory letter to Bolnok. The fields you're looking for are just north of Urqopacha. Be safe. Off we go to murder some things. Right, just north of Urqopacha. Well, this is Urqopacha, and just north is this way. I like the snow. Right, this should just... Yeah, there we go. That should be a garbage yours, just over there. This will go faster if we split up. Come and find me once you've finished clearing out your share of the pests. What are we going to kill? Survey the designated area and defeat any hostile wildlife. This is actually the first combat that we've had, isn't it? I've no idea if they've changed the I don't think they will have changed my skills much. Doesn't feel like they've changed my skills much. But I guess we'll find out. I still think my biggest gripe about Reaper is the necessity to keep Shadow of Death or Death's Design on people. This all feels very normal. I should probably read the skills. No, they're not going to give any majorly complicated combat until the trials or dungeon. Giant moles? Compared to the creatures I hunted with Papa, this was no challenge at all. No, mine were quite weak as well. Come on, let's head back to the distillery. All that's left is to give Mablu the sack of leaves so she can seal the deal. But what happens if we have accidentally crushed them? Something. Yeah, there's just some... there's just something about the terrain. It could be the texture quality, it could be the lighting, it could be, a combination of multiple things. But there's this sense that, it's not that we're playing a new game or anything, but it's the definite kind of lick of paint, so to speak, that I think it needed. Those monsters were no trouble for you, it seems. Now, if I could just have the sack of leaves. Which we've managed to keep pristine. Thank you for looking after our precious trading goods. Your monster problem has been resolved, Master Gobbly. Here are the mate leaves and a written introduction to Bolnock, as agreed. And the deal is done. Here, your jug of premium mescal, aged 3 years. Please accept it with my compliments. Why, thank you. One thing that I will definitely say is that it is so nice to be able to watch a cutscene and not immediately be faced with pixelated, kind of big blocky patterns on something. You were the one that inspired me to come this far, Third Promise, but let's not celebrate until we have the saddle in hand. Mablu, is it? You drive a hard bargain, young peddler. I look forward to doing business with you in the future. You're not a peddler yet, but... Thank you, but truth be told, I'm just a ranch hand, for now. Should I ever become a proper merchant, though, I'll be back to strike more deals with you. They're interestingly honest about this. Excellent trade. We're creeping up to level 91. Oh, we get some dye. Even at the palace, I don't think I've held a 10,000 pel jug of anything before. My hands won't stop shaking. Here, you better hold on to it until we get to the saddle maker. Can you imagine if we dropped it and had to start all over again? Luckily, Havli's place is not far. We just need to head across the plaza. Don't laugh about that. This is it, the trade we've been working towards. Don't drop it. Phew, still in one piece. Right, time to make our deal. Is something going to go wrong here? Get your tools ready, saddler. We've brought your precious mescal. Wait. You actually got your hands on a jug? But you had nothing. A few measly clumps of wool. What we had was an aspiring trader with a gift for negotiation. Although I'd sooner aid no claimant but Zualjar, I cannot go against the guiding principles of the Pelupelu. This trade is a fair one. I will craft your saddle, third promise. Great! Stay and wait if you like. I have all the requisite materials, so this won't take long. I believe crafting saddles is actually quite a complicated and time-consuming process, IRL. You know, it takes days of work, leather stitching and so on and so forth. I don't know much about it. I watched a YouTube video on it once. Your commission is ready. Catching a wild alpaca is never a simple affair, but you'll have an easier time of it with one of my saddles. I'm wondering how Zualjar's actually doing. Now, if you don't mind, I have other work that needs finishing. I can taste that smooth mescal already. Yes. We did it! The saddle is ours! To think we started out with only 100-pel basket of alpaca wool. Mablu, you are going to be an incredible merchant. Thank you. It makes me so glad to hear you say that, third promise. We got what we came for, so let's return to the ranch. The others will be waiting. Feat accomplished. Something tells me that they're going to be using this again. Which I am fine with, as long as they don't do it all the time in every zone. Because that's the kind of gimmick that could potentially get a little bit annoying. Or, if not annoying, but then at least predictable. And, you know, you don't want things to be, like, super predictable. You want them to be surprising and catching you off guard and novel. And that could be an issue if they do it too often. It's like when they got the telescope zooming in and out thing, they used it all the time. So, I expect to see it a fair bit. Let's be honest. Ali! Ali has startled an alpaca. Hello, Alphino. You've acquired the saddle then? Yes, and thanks in no small part to Mablu. Before you rush off to catch an alpaca though, let me teach you how to saddle one. I'll bring out one of our wild-born friends so you can practice. Wuk Lamat is super happy about this. I know, this is something I need to learn. It's got the adversary music. It'll be fine. And saddled. Great sunken gods, I did it. He's cute. He hardly seemed bothered, much less inclined to spit, as if he was completely accepting of Wuk Lamat's touch. That is because of the singular scent with which the saddle has been coated. Alpacas find it very soothing. You know, I've never taken a good long look at one of you before, but you're actually kind of cute. You're only now noticing them. That. Oh, there's Zavalja. He's back. And he has a shiny golden alpaca. Having done exactly what he set out to do. That alpaca he's brought, is it just me or is it glowing? I've heard tales of such a beast. They say the golden alpaca lives a solitary existence deep in the valley where it shuns the company of both man and its own kind. How did you manage to snare a prize like that? A beast knows its betters. Faced with overwhelming strength, it will yield rather than risk death. An apt illustration of how greatly the power of the first promise exceeds yours, Wuk Lamat. Strength alone won't win him our father's throne. I'll be the one to find the Golden City, and then Tural can remain at peace. An everlasting desire for peace can only be forged in the fires of war. To unite as one, the people must be taught. They must suffer the horror and the hopelessness firsthand. Exhaustion from prolonged conflict, the wages of war's merciless nature. These are what moved the clans to join in the founding of Tulialal all those years ago. Consider the younger generation of this village. Since birth, they have basked in unbroken harmony, and behold, they regard war not as tragedy, but opportunity. Thus does the resilient son seek to provide education. He offers much needed lessons in the realities of conquest and a renewed appreciation for peacetime. It is true that war's misery breeds a longing for peace. And I've seen with my own eyes what becomes of an empire forged with the violence you propose, the rebellions it spawned and the ruins it left behind. The Garlean Empire was a congregation of simpletons. Don't know about that. The oppressed fought back against their oppressors, as well they should. Men are not beasts. Only a fool would seek to rule over all with the threat of force alone. This is why Gul Jajar did not elevate the Mamulja, why he treated all clans with equal respect. However, the first promise has his gaze fixed upon more distant horizons. He would unite not only Tulialal, but the star in its entirety. What? Why? I need not explain myself to you. You're going to need to explain your reasons to somebody, though. Ah, well done indeed. The first promise has completed the feat of gold with an appropriately golden flourish. May I present to you your much-deserved keystone. It's pink. And he just walks off. He's always been like that, never sharing his innermost thoughts with me or even with Kona. It's like we're not even family. Our alpaca is cuter. It's less golden, but it's cuter. I'll ponder Zoral and his mysteries later. Right now, I need to think about finishing the feat of gold. I have my saddle. I've practiced how to use it to lead on to where the wild alpacas roam. The valley of Arankanka Orunkanka. Orunkansa? Who knows? It's northwest of here. Go on, everyone. Even if we can't enter ourselves, we can see Wuk Lamat off on a hunt. This music is just so jaunty. So jaunty. I am wondering if that golden alpaca was legit. Possibly because I'm just as pessimistic and untrusting. Go away, mole. I'm just as untrusting as Alizé is. Alpaca. What's that? Are the flowers? I thought they were weird flamingo-y type things, right? Mablu's right. The least we can do is let Wuk Lamat know we're cheering for her. Dawntrail may have caught his alpaca first, but that doesn't mean Wuk Lamat is out of the running. Yeah, is this a solo duty? Cheer! Have I spelt that right? I have. I mean, we could use the emote thing in the duty list now, because that's legitimately what was there.
Good luck there, Promise!
Thanks. I'll need it. Truth be told, still not sure about alpacas. I'd rather not go near one if I can help it.
But that's going to be the thing for ruling, isn't it? You're going to meet with people that you don't like and don't want to interact with, but...
I'll need to learn how to live with them. Tural is their home, too.
Yes. It's almost like it's a thinly veiled metaphor for acceptance and tolerance.
I'm off.
Maybe. Has she remembered to take the saddle with her?
So, shall we head back to the ranch, or...?
I'm staying here.
As will I. Wuk Lamat is alone in this. The least we can do is stand watch and await her return.
Yes, Cryle. Erenville, on the other hand. Oh.
It may be a while yet. Help me pitch the tent.
Sure. He's a good friend, is Erenville. I'm so glad they kept him around as a character and gave him more. I've come up with the new recipe.
Trust a gleaner to come prepared for anything.
Well, he's got a massive pack. He must have the core strength of an adamantoise.
What's a gleaner?
Someone whose job it is to travel the world and procure uncommon things for their employers. Erenville specializes in finding animals, I believe.
But aren't you a Shaitana from Shak Tural? Why did you cross the salt?
Yes.
When I was much younger, the thought of leaving Tural never even occurred to me.
Backstory.
But then, some years ago, my mentor tasked me with a difficult hunt. Something I could never find, she said, so long as I clung to the familiar. She suggested that I leave home, leave Tural.
Who is your mentor?
Join the Gleaners of Sharlian. As one of their number, I could experience the world, immerse myself in myriad cultures and customs, see the many faces of nature. And once I had learned what is truly important, I would find that which I seek. My younger self took those words to heart. And off I went to become a gleaner.
And now he's a pessimistic old man. Like somebody I know.
Her words alone moved you to leave behind everything you'd ever known? You must have great respect for your mentor.
Who be that?
As it happens, gleaner work was much to my liking. And I all but forgot why I had pursued it in the first place. Yet, events conspired to put me back on the trail I'd abandoned.
Wait, are you saying you were tasked with finding the City of Gold?
I was. And though my hunt is now entangled with the right of succession, I mean to see it through.
But he'd given up on it to an extent.
Well then, I understand completely. We all have our reasons for seeking the Golden City. Which is all the more reason for us to work together.
The power of friendship. Are we going to get to do Wuk Lamat's bit, or is she just going to return with an alpaca? I was kind of hoping there'd be some kind of gimmicky solo duty.
She should have been back by now. What if something's happened to her? We need to tell Tobli and arrange a search party.
She'll be fine.
Wait. Do you hear that?
No. She lied! Ta-da!
They did it.
She sounds none too convinced of it herself. One alpaca!
You're utterly spent, and small wonder.
Well done, Third Promise.
The ranch isn't going anywhere. Take a rest in the tent.
I think I will. Thank you all for believing in me.
It's a nice adventure that's proving very entertaining and very amusing, and it's quite heartwarming. This, considering we've come off the back of Zero and Golbez and the heaviness of that, this is actually a very kind of heartwarming, pleasant, uplifting, but with the obvious seeds of conflict being threaded or planted, to mix a metaphor horrendously. Yes, I'm glad we got the Erenville story. Alphino is quick to lend a hand with dismantling the tent. Is this going to be his new obsession now he's mastered collecting firewood? That's a nice little callback, I appreciate that. Right. I'm so relieved the Third Promise came back to us safely. And the alpaca she tamed is a healthy looking beast. Surely this will be enough to satisfy the feat of gold. Let's just take the cash. Knowing the Pelupelu. I'm assuming this will round out this section, which is why I'm still going after an hour and 50 minutes. Wuk Lamat still seems a bit unsteady on her feet. Hardly surprising after she spent the night chasing alpacas. You know what will melt away fatigue like magic though? Meat tea. I'll run to the ranch and get a pot brewing. That way you can take your time and the tea will be ready when you arrive. As Mablu so widely suggested, we shall set a slower pace for our exhausted Third Promise. Escort quest. I ain't slowing my pace. To the east. Oh, over there. I didn't check. Uh-oh, moles. Oh, we've got the new tilting thing, haven't we? Ooh, a fate. You are below the recommended level for this fate. Oh, this is way further away than I thought. I turned off radial blur, hadn't I, years ago because it interfered with something reshade related. And I never turned it back on, but of course the graphics options have been reset to an extent. Well, I can't remember what actually it was that it interfered with. 272 yards to the south. I think that's off the other side of the map. Oh, that was a mistake. Oh, shoot. Well, I don't have my chocobo hats. Change the animation. Ooh, that's a lot of enemies. Nice. Yeah, that feels much the same as I would expect. There's possibly some changes, but it feels right. Came back ahead of the others, did you? I should hurry along with the tea then. Wuk Lamat can't be that far behind. Oh, we even stopped off to battle some things. Oh, that tea really is magical. I feel better already. The alpacas at the table. I see you've become more comfortable around our fuzzy friends. Watching this one taught me a lot about alpacas. What grasses and fruits they eat, what sounds they react to, their adorable little quirks. I guess I've grown kind of fond of them. Character growth! Welcome back, Third Promise. Accomplished the feat of gold, have you? Ah, yes, there is no mistaking a valley alpaca. I commend you on your success. Well done. Yes, we did it. Although, I couldn't find a shiny one like Zoalja did. I'd be surprised if you had. Golden alpacas are born but once every few decades. They are elusive, solitary creatures that are rarely seen, much less captured, thanks to their innate physical and magical gifts. Only a single other person is known to have caught one before, that being Galul Jar Jar himself. Papa was chasing alpacas too? So my grandfather's stories say. Ah. It was before the founding of Tulialal, in a time when the mountain giants, the Yokhui, held our people in thrall. Compelled by their overlords, our forebears would ride their alpaca mounts to the highlands to deliver gifts of food and other tributes. Those were wretched days, to hear grandfather tell it. Then along came the young Galul Jar Jar, yet unburdened by the mantle of Dawn Servant. Our people were amazed by this imposing two-headed figure, equal to the Yokhui in stature and puzzled by his entourage of mismatched companions. Some trembled in fear, believing a new conqueror had come. Yet Galul Jar Jar showed no such inclinations. He sat and spoke with us, sipping from the cups of mate tea we offered him, and grew sombre when he learned of our plights. None could have anticipated what their visitor decided to do next. Galul Jar Jar ascended the cliffs to face the giants and freed the Pelupelu from the Yokhui's subjugation. He then turned an appraising eye upon our riders and proposed we take to the road to peddle our beverages. The suggestion seemed obvious for one who travelled as he did, intent on fostering amity between the clans. So it was that a few words from Galul Jar Jar transformed us into a clan of itinerant merchants. I've never heard the bond Papa forged with the Pelupelu spoken of in that way before. The saga is not so detailed. Then you may not know that Galul Jar Jar sought a sure-footed guide for his trek up into the highlands, thus did he capture a golden alpaca. So, both my brother and my father caught the rarest of creatures, while an ordinary one was the best I could manage. The feat required no more than that, Third Promise. You brought back a perfectly wonderful beast. Mablu's right. You're a perfectly wonderful beast. If anyone's ordinary, it's me. Not only did you accomplish the feat of gold, you also made many trades and brought joy to many people in true Pelupelu fashion. I sorely doubt your sibling could have achieved the same results. Moral of the story. You should be proud of the accomplishments which earned you your keystone. Yoink. So, this is what they look like. Very pink. Go on, set it in the tablets. Cha-ching! Ooh. A perfect fit. That leaves 6 more. You're well on your way, Third Promise. We'd have been lost without you, Mablu. Thanks to you, I learned so much about the Pelu people and your customs, and that's going to be the formula, isn't it, for this? For at least the first couple, and then we'll have a twist, probably. It might seem obvious, but I couldn't have realised the importance of properly knowing something. It was because I didn't understand alpacas that I was uncomfortable around them. I'm thankful to you as well, Wuk Lamat. You've given me the courage to say what I wasn't sure I could ever say. Doubly. I want to leave the ranch and become a merchant. I appreciate everything you've done for me. I've loved every moment caring for the alpacas. But this is something I need to do. I need to walk my own path and make my own trades. Of course he knows this. As your parent, allow me to say one thing. I've always tried to give my wards lives filled with as much happiness as I could provide. Yet never once have I wanted that to be the only happiness you knew. You have my blessing to walk any path you choose, Mablu. It gladdens me to hear you found a calling you wish to pursue with such passion. You will make an exceptional peddler, I'm sure of it. Thank you, Doubly. What did I tell you, Mablu? Here, I'm going squeaky. Come with us. There's one last thing I can help you with, Third Promise. You need to find the Golden City, right? That's the end goal. Then I suggest you talk to the Yahoi. They once ruled over far more than just Urqopacha and the Pelupelu. 1,000 years ago, they were the overlords of Dawntrail and all its peoples. During that era, the Pelupelu were commanded to search for a city of gold. They scoured every corner of the continent, but never found any trace of that fabled place. But if they didn't find anything, what could the Yahoi have to tell us? They may not have found it, but the fact that they thought to look for it at all makes me curious. Perhaps there's value in delving into how the legend originated? Sensible Kryl is sensible. We lose nothing from asking the question. Besides, if we're determined to follow the path of the saga, we'll be visiting the giants eventually. Nod. The ice-covered peaks. Oh, Kryl, I have a question I've been meaning to ask, and since we finished with the feats, where did you acquire that earring? My earring? Do you recognise it? Yes. Pieces like it first became fashionable in Dawntrail about 20 years ago. Since then, it's become common to wear one as a charm for safe travel. 20 years ago. Right about the time my grandfather made his journey. Yet the Dawn Servant implied the earring was connected to the Golden City in some way. Surely there was more to its significance than simple fashion. If you want to know how it first came to be crafted, I could try to find out. Seeing as it's a regular seller for many merchants, I'm curious to learn about it myself. I would appreciate that very much, thank you. Jumping feet first into the peddler business, eh, Mablu? Right then, let's head back to Tulialal and get ready to search for the next elector. Nod. Farewell for now, and thanks for all your help. I will become Dawn Servant, so make sure you set aside your best mezcal for the occasion. Well, that was a delightfully adorable and heartwarming. She has a fearsome opponent in that brother of hers. Even brought a golden alpaca to heel. But you've heard Saraja's supporters talk. They might see opportunity in his expansionist ambitions, but they find the man himself intimidating, terrifying even. Whereas I've grown to love Wuk Lamat. Everyone she meets will come to love her too. That's why she'll win the throne. You might be right, Mablu. You might be right. Yes. What a delightful stretch of questing. Not done with the actual quest yet though, so we best go and finish that off. It feels good to have the Feast of Gold safely under our belts, even if my victory pales beside Zoralda and his shiny golden alpaca. I know I shouldn't let it bother me. Gods know you've all been so supportive, but I want to be strong or wise like my brothers, to be a promise that people respect. Which is not likely if I stand here carrying on and on about things. Let's move on. Back to FFXIV with us. I really need somebody to say that out loud so I know how to pronounce it. Okay. So we return to the city. Oh, hold on. Are these going to be ether current quests? I just want to go and check that. Yes. Okay. I will do that on my own dime. This is all on my own dime. Technically, whatever. I will do that in my own time. Right. And just like that, we found an Electrum and won our first keystone. I knew I was right to trust your instincts. Come on, let's keep things moving and march onwards to Kozomaku. Chances are good we'll find an Elector there as well. Before we do anything, however, we should see what your patient Hanu friend has to say. And that will do me for that recording session. And in fact, that's going to do me for a good chunk of time. I am going to go and do those ether current quests, but I'm not going to record those because they're probably going to be fairly straightforward and basic. If anything exciting happens, I'll fill you in the next bit, but I'm going to have to give my voice a rest. I thought this might be an issue. I have proved myself, unfortunately, correct. It's possible that I've put aside plenty of time for Dawntrail. You know, I've got no work on. I'm throwing myself into this, but I also don't want to wreck my voice trying to push through it. I will simply just avoid social media for a few days. But yeah, I can feel. Yeah. I don't want to do myself a mischief because losing my voice means that I can't record anything for probably several days. So if this just takes slightly longer and I rest in between, so be it. So be it. As I said, I'm really enjoying this so far. The music is excellent, but more importantly, I think the story has been very, very heartwarming, and the graphics update is noticeable in how subtle it is, and the whole point was that they didn't want to dramatically change the look and tone of the game. So the fact that it is, you know, in fact, on the subject of look and tone, I mentioned that I wanted to take a little trip, did I not, to Ilmeg, because obviously it's the place that is the most verdant and so on and so forth. I want to see what this new grass. Yeah, there's so much more. And it's kicking up. I think it kicked up petals before, didn't it? But there's just so much more stuff. Yeah, it's nicely done. It's nicely done. It's a subtle evolution, I think, is the best way of thinking about it, of what we had before. It's not going to blow anybody's mind, I don't think. But I also think that the more you look at it, the more you will notice the subtle changes. That's going to do me. Thank you very much for watching. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Stay safe. Happy dawn trailing. I'll catch you all in the next part where we will go and do the Vanu stuff. Until then, cheerio. thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.